Friends, welcome to the third part of 3025. I'm Arthur Perkins. This is APGamingREAL. Battletech Oath of Endosteel. We return. Patreon members, thank you so much for your support. You're getting a first look at this particular episode. For those of you that have just joined us from the Reddit Battletech, having heard about it, welcome as well. I posted about it last week. Many people flooded in to start watching the episode, starting with part 1. So here we are. Just as a reminder of what happened last time, we had a mech fight. Fujiwara Oji. Some would call him a samurai, other would call him Ronin. Some would call him a cowboy.
Someone call him a gangster of love.
Exactly. Retreated, leaving behind a hefty ransom of sea bills in accordance with the principles of the Inner Sphere nobility. I have sent each of you one, or in some cases more than one, invitation to the Kerensky Ball. Now, this is a ball that takes place every year on November 5th. It's a big social event. It's meant to be a send-away to General Kerensky, who led the exodus of Star League warriors away when the Star League collapsed. Basically, he brought peace in his time by removing a lot, like 80% of the military forces in the Inner Sphere left so that the fighting would not continue anymore. People salute him. If you've ever played Outer Worlds, it's like one of those, the chairman salutes posters, basically. Everybody gets together and says like, we can't wait for the children of Kerensky to come back from the stars in order to save us. We, the Federated Sons, are obviously the favored house of Kerensky, etc., etc. It's a big social event. And for most of you, it'll be your first Whittington social event, your unveiling, your portrayal. You all have received invitations from various and sundry individuals. I don't know if you want to share those with your fellow players of the audience or if you want to spring them. I will leave that choice to you. Some of you have indicated that there are things you want to do between now and the Kerensky Ball. Specifically, I know Kuro wants to commit some crimes. So
What? What? Whoa,
Let's zoom
okay.
in on the
Disclaimer.
I believe my question was, would you like to abuse your authority as an intelligence officer of the Federated Sons? And you said yes.
Absolutely.
Not even yes, but unequivocally yes.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that
I
first,
asked
and
if
then
you
we can
wanted to
talk
commit
about.
crimes, and you said I'd like to use Streetwise, which is basically saying yes. So
I
We
did
can-
switch to investigations or computers.
okay, all right.
but
Well, I'm willing to open the floor here to see what you all want to do before we arrive at the Kerensky Ball November 5th.
I just want to have. I feel like in this like TV show, we have the scene of like Kuro doing crimes with like Lachlan getting ready, like trying on different outfits.
I imagine that Lachlan putting on different outfits is 100% like what was that? The Girl on Fire thing?
Oh yeah,
Hunger Games. Yeah, it's like,
yeah,
it's 100% the Capital Hunger Games. You
Oh
wear
my gosh.
ridiculous outfits.
Well, I think so. I picked out a suit that Lachlan is going to wear to the ball. I think after last time, he's decided to tone it down a little bit.
Oh, a little bit.
He's wearing what he considers to be a toned down suit. But yeah, there's definitely a interspersed scene between Kuro's crimes of him like trying on like a million different suit options to
love
get
it.
the right one.
And I kind of like it like at each phase of the heist. It's like you trying on a new set of outfits and be like, I don't know if I like this one. And I'm just like going through some vents and like
Perfect.
I forgot to mention, audience, huge thanks to Radisaurus, who's a longtime viewer of all of my shows and my Battletech overlay smith. Eric also contributed to these particular overlays, but yes, we're looking at a pretty substantial overhaul. However, it needs to be overhauled again because Lachlan's name is not spelled correctly.
We all spelled Lachlan's name wrong.
I know,
so
I
that's
spelled
on
it
all of us.
Lochland, but it's Lachlan.
Me too. I know. I thought it was Lachlan too.
I feel like I corrected this last time. But it's
I
okay.
agree
It's okay.
that I remember you saying something like that, and I've literally spent all week incredibly busy.
It's good.
And I got to today, and I saw you say Lachlan in the Discord chat to the audience, and I was like, "Oh shit, motherfucker!"
Oh yeah.
It's all good. Yeah, it's
fine.
I
a
literally
really
turned my
weirdly
computer
spelled
on
name.
and set the Zoom link, and that was my prep time for the show today.
Very good.
All right, Kuro, let's talk about
Yes.
you. Just for the audience's sake, and maybe for your fellow players, can you tell me what your end goal is in this crime time?
Yes. So my end goal is to discover any like hidden motives or like kind of background information that I would want to know about the person that invited me to the ball.
Do you want to share who that person is, or are we just going to talk about?
Oh, you're doing the social. Sorry to interrupt you here, but just for this is like you being asked on a date, and now you're like deep diving their social media. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's beyond that because like I have
Okay.
access to
But
records.
you have, but
that
you're using the
aren't
CIA
accessible.
to deep dive into
Yes.
someone's media.
Yes,
Doing
I
a
am
full background
100%.
check.
I mean, he's a military
Yeah.
intelligence officer. This is
I know,
totally
okay.
an abrogation of his responsibilities. But the other thing to note is that for anyone that isn't hooked into the Discord, there's now a character wiki that is in the description section of this video. So if you are not up on who all these people are, just go ahead and click on that link in the description section below.
This is actually real though. Not to detract real quick, but
Yeah.
there is that sort of like you can take a picture of somebody and like there's a
Oh, yeah.
a startup company that does
Yeah.
it. That's like with Palantir and shit.
Yeah.
One of the guys did it because his daughter was on a date and he didn't know who that guy was, and he's a software venture person, and like but he didn't know who his daughter was on a date with and used it.
That's
Crazy.
funny. I mean,
Like,
you
this
can
is real
reverse
life right
image.
now.
You can reverse image search people.
Well, that's what it
and
is. It's
get
the
a huge
legal
amount.
version of doing that. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not like you're not using like a CIA database to do it, but like it's in general. Like this is a real thing. Like this
Yeah.
happens right now. Abuses of power of that kind of shit. So like this is cool. It's fine with me. This is some cool stuff.
Lieutenant
and-
Spaku, talk
yes.
talk us through how you commit these
Okay.
breaches of protocol.
So yeah, I would say that Supaku or Akuro engages with the resources that he has, navigating both networks of people that he knows, um, and then also going into the infrastructure system. So like using databases that he has access to basically make sure that what they are saying like to the public is at least somewhat true, right? Because there's always a facade, especially with nobility or people in power.
Mhm.
And so he wants to get down to like the nitty-gritty of the truth of that.
So you're disguising this under just a general background check.
Yeah, it's kind of it's
Sure.
I mean, I had some details that I sent to
Routine.
AP. Do you want me to go into some of those details or?
I leave all of this determination up to you. What you want to share with your cast members and audience.
Fair enough.
Eventually, much will come out.
Yes.
How dramatic those reveals are depends on you.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely more just being cautious and making sure that because I've as we all know, Kuro was not necessarily very involved in politics for a very long time. And
Well, you're
mostly
18
just
years old, right? So,
Yeah. But like he's been trained for it for a while, right? But yeah, like just getting kind of an
I
understanding
was
of
principal of my high school student government.
I played the USSR and what is it? World government?
Yeah. So I kind of see this as a combination of social engineering and investigative work, either with computers or with just the access that he has.
I would like you to make 2 rolls then. I'd like you to make a model UN. Yeah, you'd be a top model UNer. I'd like you to make an investigation roll and a computers roll.
Okay.
The investigation roll will be to just general contact gathering among your people, military intelligence, planetary security. The computers roll will be literally hacking into the target house's home network. And,
Okay.
crimes
and
like
do
that.
I get benefits for any of my like the rank, for instance?
Your rank is what allows you to even attempt this. The
it.
benefit will be that the difficulty of the investigation check is going to be very low.
Okay, got it. All right, let's see. Where am my dice at? What are we doing? We just 2d6.
Yes. Now, I want to remind you all
Thanks.
that you have 3 plot points that you can spend in this session each. I start with 1. There are plenty of things that you can do with those plot points. And of course, you have Edge, which will allow you to re-roll a die.
I'm having trouble selecting. I still have the explosion thing.
Drag click. Oh, upper left-hand corner. Go to
Yeah.
grab. The grabby
No.
grab.
Let's try that. Change that. No, it's not. It's not letting me do the drag select.
Interesting.
Like I've just got the explosion thing going on the whole time.
Loading thing going on. You want me to roll for you and then you rejoin, perhaps?
Yeah, let me go do that. Go ahead and roll for me.
Well, that's a 5 on the dice, so that's not that great. What's your investigation total?
My investigation total is a +3, I believe.
That's not terrible.
You get blockaded at every point of this investigation. At
shit.
some point quite early on, you trip a couple flags in military intelligence, and you are ordered to stop investigating House Hohenheim.
They caught you.
Well, that was not expected. I didn't expect it to be that high.
It's not like it's not like anybody's dropping by your house, but it's reminded that even though you're on passive duty now that you're a noble, you are still a intelligence officer and expected to act as such, and that there are protocols for this kind of thing. It's not like they order you to attend a retraining, but you do get like a 50-page document informing you.
You obviously are going to have to take a class. Like it's security, a security and responsibility training seminar.
No, it's just a series of documents. First time
Oh,
offender.
wait, hold on.
Man,
Oh,
War
first
hero?
time. Yeah.
What? It was a 5 and a
2 and a 3.
2 and a
yeah.
3. I'm gonna
Or
re-roll
Okay.
the 2.
Very well. You're spending a point of edge.
I am
7, 8, 9, 10.
7 + 3, 10.
Yep. None of that happens.
So no, okay, no, or it says,
Actually-
or it's, or no, it could be, it's like it says, warning, your unabled, unauthorized access. This has been documented. Hashtag default _user _123, and you're like, enter. Whatever, right?
I'd like you to make the computer check, and I'll tell you what you get out of these combined. You're definitely successful on investigation.
Okay.
You're not going to get a lot of information because your roll is quite low.
Or you're doing the hacker mans where like, I had to trip the wire with the honeypot that I set up. So now that it simultaneously it won't see my other connection going in.
Wow.
Come on.
Wow.
Yes!
That's an 11 on the dice, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
That's a 12 total. Because I do not have skill in computers.
That's more than good enough. Listen.
I just imagine the CIA is this intelligence thing. I'm sorry to keep interrupting here, but I just imagine it's this giant GUI, and it's like just whatever button you want. It's just like it's right there.
No, this part is not him
is,
using his intelligence network. This is him running like scripts, basically.
Yeah. I have like a tablet that I've plugged into a console or like a computer server, and I'm just like in the server databases, just like running the scripts I have on my tablet.
There's just like a loading bar that just says "time to hack."
Yeah. And it's like, and it's got a laughing skull.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's got to have a skull. It's got and like the ASCII skull too.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Not an emoji. We're in the ASCII world when it comes to that stuff.
Oh yeah.
You get quite a dump of information about House von Hohenheim. She has probably one of the largest military forces left on the planet. Not only is she a tank pilot, but she has a commando at her behest, and it's rumored in these financial documents, it looks like she's paying a mercenary company. It's not clear how big it is, but there are several million C-bills being thrown around here. So some security force on this planet that has not openly revealed themselves is working for her family. That said, there are a lot of notes in this military intelligence file that she might be a Draconis Combine sympathizer, that she was outspoken during her time at the New Avalon Institute of Science, where she received her master's in political science. Her professors noted that she was constantly arguing on behalf of peace with the Draconis Combine in order to bring economic reform to the Federated Suns. She strongly believes in restructuring Whittington's current economic model, she appears to be openly opposed to the anti-Kurita faction of political landscape here. As she has spent time away from home, she's been sending a lot of hyperpulse generator messages back to Whittington, but also she's been communicating with Shinji Moritomo Lake and several other prominent politicians on the other side of the border.
Okay, so
Now, none of these are suspect. She's not like, hey, I'm going to sell you Whittington, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they're like in treaties for peace, greater cooperation, economic flow. Now that we're almost 2 years into open borders, her ideas are starting to pick up some sway. She's got about 30% approval rating on the planet, which is a heck of a lot higher than most of the current politicians,
That's what I was
including the
about to
three of
ask.
you, because no one knows who you are.
I have a follow up question to that real quick.
Yep.
We're in 3027, right?
3025.
3025. We're in 3025. So the Mercenary Review Board's a thing.
Yes.
So are you saying that Kuro's stuff and this
Mercenary
contract
Review
is
Board
not
contracts
part of
are
the review
not
board?
open.
Yeah. Okay. These are not open. Okay,
So
thank you.
it's known between the client and the mercenary about both sides. Like, you have to know who your client is. The mercenaries' records are all open and available, but you can get a private military contract essentially.
Okay.
Now, Comstar is not going to authorize, like, buy a mercenary unit to attack Comstar, right? But they might allow a mercenary unit to do something like trip the planetary security grid or allow the spaceport to fall, something like that. These are possible, but
Not my
unlikely.
spaceport.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll send you a message.
You have any? I'll give you one additional question if you have anything else you want to know about Jana von Hohenheim.
Possible we could pocket it?
I'll allow
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Can I pocket that for a bit?
Yep.
Let me think about it. All right. Thanks.
Lachlan, as this
Yes.
series of crimes ends, why don't you tell us what kind of outfit you're wearing?
Oh yes. I put a link in the cast chat. I'll
Yeah, it's
throw it in
surprisingly
the-
tame for what you
So
previously.
so in reality, it's really just like two cross shots of like you going through the hacker commands of your computer, and then cut to Lachlan just browsing like Etsy on the different shirts. He's just swiping on a tablet, clicking at the different ones.
Yeah. So it's a black suit with gold inlay on the sleeves and the cuffs. And yeah, you can see that in the Discord. I just linked it. It's definitely much tamer than the last one, but it's definitely not a suit that anyone in their right mind would consider like tame or reserved the
Ooh.
way Lachlan like thinks that it is.
Oh my
And
god.
yeah, he's ready to go.
Oh my god. Do you see it buttoned up? It's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it's a really nice blazer.
Lachlan, you have been invited on an interview circuit with
Ooh.
Donegal Broadcasting Corporation. Now, this is a Lyran corporation. They're based off of Solaris. They are essentially the largest news corporation in the entire inner sphere, even in places where Lyran influence is considered to be bad, like the Capellian Confederation or parts of the Draconis Combine. The Donegal Broadcasting Corporation still reaches them. Essentially, they bring sports news, mech news, political commentary. They're relatively neutral while leaning slightly pro-Lyran, but other than that, they try to keep as non-political as possible and instead play up an entertainment sensationalism level. You've been invited to interview based on your recent heroic actions.
Excellent. This is a perfect opportunity for Lachlan, who thinks he is much more charismatic on this kind of thing than he actually is. Yeah, so he'll definitely attend.
So you find yourself sitting across the table from a 22-year-old young man. We're talking curly, wavy hair, boyish face, perfect anchor material. And as he turns to face the camera, he says, This is Donegal Broadcasting Corporation, and I'm James Jives. I'm bringing you tonight Lachlan McDougall, hero of the hour of Whittington. Baron, Sir, Mr. Lachlan, what should I be referring to you as?
I'm just happy to be here. Please, whatever you prefer.
Well, Baron, you have done an amazing job defending this planet. We're just going to roll that footage for the audience there. Take a look at this Black Knight's gun cams as it guns down the Warhammer. Incredible shot here, taking out an arm. Wow. Just heavy metal mech combat that you can't find anywhere else besides Donegal Broadcasting Corporation.
Yeah, I think like as like the like shot is coming back to like them on the set as opposed to like the cam, you see like Lachlan like miming like finger guns as he's like making the shot. He's like, "Oh yeah, got him."
Lachlan, can I be frank with you?
I would prefer it. I would prefer
Our
it,
Leon
James.
viewers have several questions for you about your time on Solaris.
Well, I was out making a name, earning money for me and my family, and benefiting the world with the pure sport of mech competition.
I understand that, but there are some who are concerned that you managed to destroy the rising Galahad stables with your selfishness. Now, the full story isn't known, but rumors say that you joined Galahad stables with a contract to get your mech repaired, and then upon hearing that your family's demise had happened, left immediately without participating in any bouts.
Understand this, James. This was not my selfishness. It was quite the opposite. I would much prefer to have stayed on Solaris, to continue competing, to have earned championship after championship for Galahad stables. Unfortunately, my duty to the people of Whittington, to those who my family have cared and protected for these last few hundred years, I simply could not leave that and go based on commitments I had made much farther down the line compared to those that my family has made are oaths of blood. I had to do what must be done.
All right, Baron, let's get a little personal here. And as he says that, there's like a ceiling light swivel where like 8 lights come and pinpoint the two of you. The studio lights come down and he says, Baron, are you aware that you, Kuro Spaku, and Jasper Hiroka have all been nominated into the top 100 most eligible bachelors of the Federated Sons? And you yourself have managed to reach number 85 in the Draconis March alone.
I think Lachlan is pretty taken aback by this news. He obviously, if you can't tell, he like really feels himself. So like hearing this is like, really exciting news for him. And I think it's very obvious.
Just between us. What's your preference? What's your type?
And there 40 million people watching.
Yeah. I mean, there's billions of people that will watch this eventually as it travels between worlds, but he's just like, what's your type? What's your preference?
Well, James, as an eligible bachelor, I have to think first about my family, as I've said before. Though there are many things that I would wish in my romantic side, what valor and chivalry demands is that I work to set those things aside for the greater good of all of Whittington. I will marry whomever is the best choice for the people.
So he taps his note cards on the table and says, but you have a romantic heart.
What chivalrous knight doesn't?
You heard it here first, ladies. We'll be back after a quick message from our sponsors, and then it cuts to your family's space station that you don't completely own it, but you're majority shareholders, and it says, Ivory Tower. Phase 7 renovations are underway. Ivory Tower. We're always watching above you.
Yeah, so we talked about how like Lachlan's family estate is like built like on the same kind of area as the spaceport. It's like the spaceport and then the Lachlan estate. So I think we get a shot of that as well. And it's like the idea behind this is like a very common theme with the McDougal family, which is like massive overcompensation because of insecurity about like their place in nobility,
Can you
right?
make your
So it's
character
like
more believable, please?
so
So you put
it's-
truck nuts on your ship, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no.
So it's like the whole thing, like the reason whoever decided way back, whichever ancestor decided is like, no, like this is our spaceport, so we're gonna live here. Yeah, we're building it right now, and like that's kind of the feel behind this place. So it's way overbuilt. It's like totally ridiculous, and it's just like too much would be how I would describe this estate.
So it comes back to the show after your advertising reel plays, and James Shive says, "Now, Lachlan, I wanted to ask you a final question for the night before I get to more interviews. That will be at 11 local time. Local rapper Little Draconis, aka Little Drac, has been writing a number of songs about some of your lancemates, including a song titled Jasper Hiroka is Gonna Die. On top of that, he's named his upcoming album Jasper Hiroka is Gonna Get Choked to Death by Me. On that album, apparently 72 times he uses the lyric Jasper Hiroka is a little bitch. What do you have to say about this kind of content making its way through our media circuit?
Oh man, yeah. So I think Lachlan takes like a long pause where he kind of like blinks a little bit, like I just did, and he will say, "I'm not familiar with this crass music. I'm more of a classical fan myself. However, I simply think that those who can't do talk. If he could deal with Jasper in any competent manner on the field of battle, he would have no need of saying these things. He would simply challenge Jasper to a duel and have done with it."
So you believe that Lil Draconis needs to challenge Jasper Hiroka to a duel of Battlemechs in order to prove that he's a man?
I would say that he does not need to do anything. However, if he wants to show that he is better than Jasper, if he wants to show that Jasper is not competent, prove it. Look what happened to the last person who tried to do it to our lance, and perhaps you will see why he has chosen to do it this way instead of that way.
So he holds his hand out and says, "That's all the time we have, Baron. Thank you very much. You will make an excellent Lyran one day."
Is that a compliment? Because that's like
It's
the
not really.
yeah, that's like the. So I think Lachlan just kind of like glares at him a little bit and is like, "The McDougal family and myself are proud to be where we are."
That's all we've got time for. We'll see you at 11. And then the studio lights come back up. I want to check in with you, Jasper Hiroka. What do you got going on?
I would love to be trying to meet some people before this meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick before they cut away, there's definitely that moment where like Lachlan's people come over and it's like, "That was not an authorized question." Yeah, there's definitely one of those back and forths, and then we cut away. Sorry.
So, I definitely would be looking. Jasper would definitely be looking for some sort of guidance here, and I know that one of the few surviving members of sort of the old guard, if you will, would be Tsuyohi Genji.
Yeah.
As he's also a fellow dragon slayer.
Indeed he is.
So I was wondering if I could find some time with him. Talk about.
He accepts your invitation at his estate. He is busy preparing for the Kerensky Ball as he's the one presenting it this year.
Oh, okay.
But he has a private dojo, and he indicates that after his meditation time next week at this certain time, you can visit him at the dojo and have tea.
Okay. I would also love to know maybe what he's wearing and how I can like best complement, for the ball today.
It's not today, but
I'm in the coming days.
yeah, you can certainly speak with him during the meeting.
Okay.
So we cut to that time. He's in the dojo. It's pretty clear that he was just doing some kendo katas, and now he's been kneeling. He's got a tea set prepared for you when you come in, and he says, "Jasper, welcome to the Genji estate."
Hey, it is always a pleasure. Thank you so much for meeting me in such short notice.
So let's be clear. Yohei is a lot
Yeah.
older than all the other nobility on the planet. He is 26, and he's the only one that was in direct line to inherit. Like, he was expected to inherit sometime this year anyway, before the lake bombing. So, he is wearing a mantle of elder statesman that a 26-year-old probably shouldn't be. But he looks every aspect of Draconis Combine Samurai, with the exception of the massive silver cross around his neck. And he says, "Who was it who commanded your battle against the Ronin of the Draconis Combine, Jasper?"
That would be our Lord Supaku.
Allow me to ask this question then. Did you not take an oath to act in defense of House Lake?
I absolutely did.
Do you not find that as a warrior one must war? And yet, the three of you have allowed a very serious enemy to escape your clutches in the pretense of chivalry.
What would you have had me do if not follow chivalry?
Execution. Our enemies are snakes. They slither in the grass, growing in number. Only by eliminating those who strike at us can we prevent more from growing back. When you allow a wounded snake to escape back into the grass, it will merely grow stronger and more numerous. As a dragon slayer, I would have thought you understood this, that the Draconis Combine is an enemy that we cannot allow ever to stop vigilance against.
With all would the proper title be like master or something like?
If you wanted, listen, I'm gonna be a little flexible here. Master would be appropriate. Senpai could also be appropriate.
With all, teacher for sure, right? Like with all due
Senpai
respect,
is like elder classman, basically.
Sure. And he technically is, because he actually has like really adopted this. Yeah. With all due respect, senpai, letting this snake retreat once also makes them more predictable. I know my enemy. I know what he'll do next.
You? And he pulls out a tablet from underneath the tea tray and begins to play it, and you can see that it's Fujiwara Oji kneeling before Shinji Moritomo Lake. And Shinji says, "Your actions have dishonored me." And he draws Fujiwara Oji's samurai sword that he took all the way from Terra through the ages to here. "You have acted without my express permission, and more importantly, you have failed, Fujiwara. You may begin the ritual when you are ready." And then he brings the sword up and says, "I will make sure that you do not dishonor yourself." And then there's, the camera cuts away, but you can still hear a grunt of pain, and then a second grunt of pain, and then a quick slicing noise, and some blood spills onto the camera. And you hear Shinji say, "Now, Hime, you will take up your brother's warhammer. I expressly forbid you from taking revenge on Lachlan McDougal." And we hear the sound of a sheathing sword, and you hear someone with a feminine voice say, "I understand. I will not take out my rage and vengeance on Lachlan McDougal alone." And so he ends the
That's
recording.
A very interesting
and says,
qualifier, AP.
So
Okay.
Yohei says, You have created a new snake in the grass. Of Fujiwara Oji, I had much information. Of Hime, I know almost nothing. She will be a wild beast in the coming days, months, and years. One who has direct reason to attack yourself and Kurospaku. This world may once again be threatened by House Fujiwara, simply because you did not destroy his machine of war and his allies.
I would like to very formally apologize to him, and I see the error of my ways now, and that may this be the last time I ever fail you.
I accept your apology on behalf of Whittington and House Leek. Remember in the future that war is not a game. When we fight the Draconis Combine, it is not a scuffle between our houses. There need be no chivalry and no honor, because the only honor in war is through victory for your people and our way of life.
Never again will mercy cloud my vision and of my path towards victory.
Yeah, I mean, he nods like, yep, that fits with my Crusader philosophy 100%.
Right. This guy's a really bad role model, but he's the
yes,
only one I
terrible.
got. So this is great. So, all right.
Shit.
All right.
His advice is more murder.
Look,
Yeah.
I will get my gunnery skill up no matter what. So I will I'm doing this, okay? I will.
So
ride
as he
this
takes a
train.
sip of tea, he says, I would hope for your support in the upcoming winter Senate session.
Do I know anything about what he stands for and what he wants in the next coming winter session?
His
Like
family's
his
only stance throughout the years has consistently been
war in all
fuck
caps.
the Draconis Combine.
Yeah, in all caps.
Trade
Okay.
sanctions, wars authorizing raiding, paying for mercenaries through the council budget. Like, if there is someone who is forefront to the anti-Kurita movement, it is Yohei Genji.
Does Senpai Genji also have a problem then with my refugees? Is that going to be a problem? Do I know that as a character?
You haven't had that discussion with him, although you could have it right now.
Yeah, but like I also know based on his platform, like where this is gonna go, and like, does this sound like it's gonna be a problem? You know what I mean? Like if someone, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Like there's.
So you're trying to get them Federated Sons, citizenship. You're protecting refugees, which of course will fit in with his kind of Catholic paladin persona. The problem, of course, is that he is Catholic and your refugees are Muslim.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's still a little bit of beef after a
beef.
few thousand years in that regard. And also, they even among Draconis Combine, Arcabs are considered to be the lowest of the low. The only social group lower than Arcabs is Koreans.
Okay. All right. So then I wouldn't have necessarily that much of a reluctance to agree to help him with his Senate seat.
Okay.
So I would say not at all. You absolutely will have my votes.
Excellent.
No, he's a powerful faction too, right, AP? Sorry to ask so many questions, but like
no faction is particularly powerful right now, insofar as no one knows who's doing what.
Right. But I'm also not like signing on to like a fringe extremist with like 2% of the parliamentary vote.
Yeah,
right?
No, this guy is definitely more popular than that. Again, nobody's really got more than 30 or 40% approval rating, but this guy's pretty high up there.
Right. That's what I figured. I was operating under that assumption, but like I'm really trying to be as like middle of the road centrist as possible.
Okay. That's not this guy, but yes.
Well, yeah, sure.
But if you're the middle of the road centrist, that means telling everybody what they want to hear, which includes this guy.
Exactly.
I was about
this
to
is why I have so many
so
friends
thank
and
you.
enemies.
No, you try to play the middle ground, right? So you're trying to make sure that people can come to the table when like the two juxtapositions are like competing with these things.
A war. A warrior must always hold the high ground, and and have the best middle ground possible. So.
Remember, Anakin, I have the high ground.
Okay.
AP, actually, this maybe the moment that I think I want to use that question.
Yeah.
And I want to understand, and this has to particularly pertain to House von Onheim.
Oh, von Hohenheim, yes.
Von Hohenheim. I'm gonna have trouble saying that. I'm sorry. But yeah. So any known enemies or folks that maybe are out to get her, any like so because I have that military access as well, like any known like hits or like subterfuge that's going on actively against the different houses.
House Genji has been a long enemy of House von Hohenheim.
Great.
Recently, House Lafayette has completely changed their political winds and sided with the anti-Karita faction and is openly antagonistic towards von Hohenheim. House Latour has sided with the Hohenheims
Is that why people
in recent days.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Essentially,
let's see.
both sides, pro and Karita, have about 30 to 40% support of the public from opposing political sides.
Got it. So it's quite a divide. Okay.
There's also
so-
a very large middle ground that remains undecided or uncaring.
Okay. So just to recap real fast, so I've got enemies tend to be or like opposing the House Genji, and then what was the other one? You had
House
another one?
Lafayette.
House Lafayette. Okay. Yep.
So
cool.
would you say that each side of this would have an angel in their corner?
They do, actually. As you might note, Audrey Lafayette and Angelique Latour both have the call sign Angel, and they're
Oh,
both
wow.
aerospace pilots. They're
Yeah.
as you might suspect, there's a little bit of rivalry between them going
Yeah.
back many years.
And von Hohenheim had 2 allies. Is that correct as well?
Only House
Latour?
Latour.
Only
Yes.
House Latour. Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 major enemies, Genji and Lafayette, and then Latour was an ally
Correct.
and supporter. Got it. Cool.
Is there anything anyone else wanted to do before the Kerensky ball and then the politics?
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Is there anything I can do as far as like? I would like to get my name out there a little more
Mm.
Oh, you
via
wanna
James
promote?
Jives. Yeah, I'm kind of looking to promote myself a little bit.
You want to
or-
get on the DBC real quick with James?
James Dives.
James
Yeah,
Jives is a happening guy.
Not without preparing first.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, tell me about
So
it.
I need to study my opponent. I want to know. I need to know what kind of questions he would ask me, so I would have an answer prepared.
He is a new reporter,
Sure.
recently assigned for literally the farthest planet you could get to from Solaris.
But he came from Solaris.
Yes, so the DBC, now that there is open trade between the Federated Suns
Lyran,
and the Lyran
yeah.
Commonwealth,
Lyran.
they are sending DBC operatives all throughout the Federated Suns in order to get local opinions, stir up more support for the Alliance on behalf of the Archon. That's
Yeah.
about as far as they get politically, is just making sure there's more reporting coming from the Suns. Not that they're trying to slant it in any direction. James Jives appears to be a reporter that will attempt to build people up, but then hit them with that gotcha question, like, yeah, that's right, we didn't practice this one, didn't have that. I want to get your honest for the viewership.
Totally. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm gonna do it anyways. Let's do it.
So we cut to the DBC live with James Jives, and he says, "Thanks for joining us, Whittington, and all the inner sphere out there." And he salutes to the camera. "I'm here with Baron Jasper Hiroka. Jasper, can I call you Jasper? Jazz?
You may, James.
Thanks, Jazz.
Jasper.
Jasper, all right. Look, I think what we all want to know is what's going on with you and Lil Draconis. Lil Drac.
Referring to my refugees, right, AP?
No, this is a rap artist who's been writing songs
Oh yeah,
that say,
that's his name.
I
Lil
want to
Draconis.
choke
Yeah.
Jasper Hiroka.
Yeah.
So
That's
he
what we
says,
just heard. That's what we
recently,
heard.
he released an album called Kurospaku. Wouldn't it be better if he's dead? 26 hit songs, all reaching in the top 100s. It's an incredible turn of events here.
It's shocking to me. For starters, James, it's such a low ball for someone I would expect better from.
Expecting better of Lil Drac. All right. Jasper, one of your colleagues was in here a few weeks ago and suggested that you would challenge Lil Drac to a Battlemech fight in order to defend your honor. Can you comment on that?
Well, I would have to have a challenge first.
Will you be providing Lil Drac with a Battlemech?
No, I don't want any view of some sort of engagement like this to be viewing that like perhaps I had any sort of heavy-handedness and make this as fair as possible. He should bring his own mech.
I'm laughing, but James Travis is not.
Yeah.
Very well. Jasper, let's set aside some of those heavy topics and let me ask you, how does it feel being in the top 100 bachelors of the Federated Suns?
Since the lake bombing, I've had to put on a lot of new shoes, and I think maybe these are the shoes that I feel least comfortable in.
I understand. Now, there have been rumors about you dating a member of Talent 7. Can you confirm or deny this? Are you bringing a member of Talent 7 to the Kerensky Ball?
I don't know
James
where you
turns to look at the camera
yeah.
when you say He's like,
I don't know where you've heard these rumors. However, no, I will be bringing someone else.
Oh, do you care to share with the Inner Sphere? He turns to look at the camera again, like,
You'll see us walk together down the carpet at house. What's his name? Yohei
Genji. Okay, he's just like, paparazzi, you know what to do.
It became a yellow carpet after 2500. Swap from red to yellow in 2500. It's an important distinction.
Wow. Okay. I think it's still red. It's like
the saying is still a red
aren't
carpet.
necessarily green, right?
Yeah, it's the expression is still the same as the red carpet, right?
Exactly.
So but I'm trying to play this like not that I'm unsure of myself, but that I'm doing it for a little like cheeky surprise.
Yeah, you're
like, just wait and see. Yeah.
So he says, now, Jasper, I just want to take a quick look at your battle ROM footage from a recent battle here. I'm taking, wow, you're really maneuvering this Hatchaman around here. I mean, what were your thoughts during this battle?
My thoughts were getting in close with that new hatchet. I'm eager to see what it can do.
Now, the Hatchetman is, if I'm reading this correctly, it is a machine invented in the Federated Suns, produced in the Lyran Commonwealth. What could be a better symbol for the renewed cooperation between our realms?
You tell me. I think it is the perfect symbol, and this will be a brilliant mech in the years to come. And I think many fellow nobles like myself will be piloting. I'm glad that I have one of the earlier ones.
We'll be back with a final question after this advertisement, and then it goes to a black screen and a voiceover goes, "Unlimited, Jacobson Unlimited. You need it? We've got it. Do you want it sent somewhere? We'll bring it. Jacobson Unlimited."
It's like a cologne commercial.
Yeah,
It's so good.
I just imagine like the imagery just like of like an escalating ship that's rising into space, and like space elevators lifting up, like all the imagery is just like something rising to the sky.
And then when
I
it
pick
says
a lot of logistic stock footage of like little eye radio tower with dots like it's going across the planet and shit, like, you know what I'm talking about, and like little data symbols that are meaningless, like
absolutely. And then like the last shot when it's like unlimited is basically like a ship like shooting across to like make the line, right?
Yeah.
Jasper, Is there anything you want to say to your colleagues in the Inner Sphere? Any statement you'd like to make tonight?
Well, I think it would only be right to salute our great Kerensky and everything that he's done for since the Star League time, and I'm super excited to be at the ball coming up to give him a proper reception.
Fantastic. You heard it here first. An admirer of Alexander Kerensky, who heroically sacrificed himself to ensure peace in his time.
I really just wanted to get in there and like be super likable and you know, just like really just schmooze and not really say anything.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely didn't say anything. Yeah. Anything else you all want to do before the Kerensky ball?
Oh, did we want to do a scene of me telling the head of my tech team that I will not be taking her to the ball?
Oh yeah, Leonora. Yeah, of course.
He's gonna try to be nice about it.
So, I mean, she's replating the massive amount of armor that your Black Knight has lost, and she's not doing it personally, right? Like, she's got Aztecs, but she's the one with the cones, like, directing people. You can see that she's got, like, 4 tons of armor hanging in midair, and just yelling at people, just like, stop, do it correctly, nobody's gonna get hurt this time, or ever. And then when you enter, she salutes and says, Baron?
Oh, please, Leo. You've known me for a long time. You can stick with Lachlan.
That would be inappropriate, Baron.
All right, I figured you would say that. Anyway, I did get your letter. And while I do appreciate you not wanting to see me be, shamed by attending the ball solo.
Baron, could we speak privately, please?
Yes.
She takes you by the arm. At first, it's just like, let's walk arm in arm. But when you get into the hallway, she wrenches you and drags you along until you're relatively private. And she's just like, Lachlan, I've been looking out for you ever since you were a little boy. You have found an invitation that is incredible.
Absolutely. There is a lovely lady in a faraway planet who needs my help.
What's the name of this young woman?
Lady Haru Takao Moritomo. She sent me a letter.
She just starts walking away, a chain of swears. You can hear her just saying, Mama, I try to raise him right. I try to raise him right.
Leo, you must understand. How could
she closes the door to the mech bay behind her?
Me? It's just, yeah. I think that's the end of the scene. That's all we need.
You're muted.
Oh, Eric, you're muted.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because it's like that thing of like you're trying to talk through the door and we just hear the sounds of like the like the klaxons going off, and she's just sitting there like pressing the button every time you open your mouth. You're like and like the red alert like lights go on like every time.
Exactly. Perfect.
Oh, it's so good.
So I'm grappling with the desire to get out there and be somewhat known, partially because Kuro is not necessarily good or like comfortable with the limelight at all, but knows that like it's probably beneficial for his family. Yeah, is there a way? No, there wouldn't be a way that I could like get the, like you've already kind of stated that with Jasper's interview, where it's like they're not going to give you any kind of prep necessarily.
Correct. Listen, if you contact the DBC about an interview, they're willing to do a piece about your dojos around the planet. You know, like a B-roll fluff piece to send to planets that don't have enough news, and conduct an interview with you during that process.
Okay. Yeah. I'll talk about that.
So we get James Jives in one of your family's, Cobra Kai outfits, basically. We get B-roll of him just like, you are helping him through the first belt level of exercises. He gets beaten up by a 12-year-old. He plays it off really well, though. And at the end, he's all sweaty, but he's still got that boyish charm and the studio makeup and heavy lighting. And he just smiles at the camera and says, now, Kuro, Baron Spaku, what can I call you here? Sir? Lieutenant?
Lieutenant was fine, or Kuro. We are in familiar grounds.
Kuro, I understand that your family has been running these dojos for some time and has provided a sort of harmonic balance to communities in need all across Whittington. Children
Yes.
who would otherwise be falling to crime or malcontent are given an opportunity to express themselves through structured learning.
Yes, yes. My family's vision has always been to support those at the base level so that all of society can flourish.
Lieutenant, I have to ask the hard questions
Lieutenant,
here.
apologies.
Lieutenant. I apologize. Where I come from, it's lieutenant.
Ah,
I'm a long way from home, however. Now, Lieutenant, there has been a recent rash of quickly produced, overhyped synth rap songs, all of them set to a drum kit beat, done by Little Draconis, aka Little Drac, and he recently released a track that says Lachlan McDougal is a traitor. In addition, I don't know if you've heard, but he has released tracks about yourself and your close friend Jasper Hiroka. What do you have to say about this?
Those that want to create discord during a time of necessary unity is unfortunate. And, well, the music itself does not have the flow of someone who respects the people and the purpose that we all have here.
So he looks shocked when you say this. He says, "Are you disrespecting the musical skills of Lil Drac?"
Yes.
You can see several people in the background and like, oh! Like one guy walks around in a circle while saying, oh, and he's just like, Sensei about to take Lil Drac to town!
If he would like, he is more than welcome to join our dojo. And I like direct the camera to point to the musical center where like the kids are learning the fine arts of music.
Oh my god, this got so much worse. I mean, are we talking like people playing on pianos and playing saxophones?
No, I would say like there is some classical, but then there's also like new age like synth rock and like other things like that, like, you know, what the kids enjoy.
Of course. So James is trying to keep it cool, but he's so busy trying not to laugh. He says, now, Lieutenant.
And during this whole time, like, Kuro just has a smile.
What do you have to say about peace with the Draconis Combine? And
I believe
it's clear based on his saying this that like this is the gotcha moment. Like the camera focuses in on your face, like someone swoops around for a second side.
That is a difficult topic for many reasons. One, as I'm sure many know, my fellow Lance and I recently had to fend off some raiders. Peace is something that we all strive for, especially during when we wish for economic growth. Prosperity does not come from war, only death.
So you are saying that you would welcome open trade from the Draconis Combine? Camera zooms in even more.
Yeah, I would welcome conversation and diplomacy over all-out war.
And what do you have to say about Lachlan McDougal inviting a noble from the Draconis Combine with an internal security force escort to the Kerensky Ball?
I think it is an olive branch that we can all learn from.
That's what we've got here on the front lines of Whittington and the front lines of this dojo. Peace in our time. I'm James Jives, and this has been Donegal Broadcasting Corporation.
James Jives always kills it. Never fails.
Who arrives first to the party. We're talking Yohei Genji Estate, extreme samurai aesthetic here. Their house was not present when the Combine fell, but his family did move in here and adopt a very mixed Sons Combine cultural aesthetic. What with his family having a strong samurai ancestry.
We have publicists.
You absolutely have publicists.
When would they tell us to arrive?
Fashionably
right
late.
time?
Fashionably late, of course.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
Right,
the
so
party
who
starts
arrives
at
first?
6, but, you know, that's just the reporters out there getting the B-list guests in. You know,
Yeah.
Lil Drac, all that stuff. James Shives.
Can't believe little Drax.
Well, I mean,
You're like, I can't believe Lil Drac. His bitch ass is
he's
here.
showing his face here.
Everywhere he stands.
I should be in a bird
I love that
ward.
he's here. Yeah. That's what's just going through my brain. Through Jasper's brain.
I think Lachlan has been to like lots of like parties and stuff in Solaris, right? Because it's like it's Space Las Vegas, right?
Yes.
So I think he definitely arrives fast. He arrives like at the perfect time for him to arrive, which would be
of
late,
course.
but it's like not too late. It's like he's trying to really time it.
I feel
right?
like this is a protocol role.
I'm so down for that.
Yeah, let's
That's
do it.
perfect.
Yeah.
I have that skill.
You know what I mean?
All right.
Like it is an
Gotta hit a
actual
10.
role.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right.
Is this everyone or?
No, this is just for him because he wants to arrive at this specific time.
At a perfect time. Protocols with charisma. Oh yeah, I have it on my sheet. All right,
Yep.
I get a +2 to this. I am not charismatic.
That's 3 dice. You have 3 dice.
Oh
there.
shit! I didn't realize 2 of my
You're-
dice were stacked.
Got that top-down camera, not that side.
Come on,
Oh,
that's a 9.
that's not good enough.
9.
10.
You want to
is there
spend
any? Are
edge
there,
to reroll that too?
No, I'm sure there'll be a more important role later in the night.
No,
Do you-
when you arrive is everything.
yeah. Question for you. Do you have any bonuses for like any of your traits?
Nope. He's got what he's got.
No. So what I would say, if you don't have something, AP, a suggested failure would be like Lachlan arrives like right at the same time of somebody of like slightly higher rank than him, right? So like the press is like more drawn to them instead of
I think that
something
it's
like
actually going to be that you arrive and you have to wait for your date to arrive.
Oh no.
Because she has to get out of a Federated Sons issue ambassadorial vehicle.
Right.
Very obvious security officers get out of both Federated Sons and Draconis Combine suits, but then people wearing the dreaded Internal Security Force uniforms, the military secret police of the Draconis Combine, are just wandering around, and like everybody's like, oh no, like yeah, like she makes an entrance. Beautiful young woman, absolutely Combine-esque, 100% Japanese aesthetic. You know, a blue kimono with red fish leaping into the air from a pool of water. Hair done up nicely, immaculate makeup, but she rushes over to you in the way that only someone that is not rushing can do. And grabs your arm, and like everybody's like they're not paying attention to the two of you. They're paying attention to these 6 ISF officers, and everybody's just like, oh shit, are they gonna kill us? Like,
yeah,
these look like bad dudes.
Lachlan will definitely bow and make his greetings and let her take his arm and
She
stuff.
bows slightly deeper and says, Baron Lachlan, I appreciate your acceptance of escorting me. I am on an unknown planet, but I look forward to seeing what my aunt has spoken so deeply about.
Yeah, he'll say, my lady, the pleasure is all mine. I am so glad that a woman in need such as yourself would reach out such that I could help you. Please, allow me to escort you.
The two of you go into the party together.
I do want to make a point is very deliberate on my part that Lachlan is making this about himself, right?
Yes.
Like it's all about him.
Oh boy.
It's not like, thanks for coming, I'm excited to see you. It's like, thank you for letting me help you.
I'll be clear. She is extremely, I would say, deferential or submissive towards you in this regard. Makes no attempt to challenge that. And in fact, in body gestures and body language, plays up your, oh, thank you so much for saving me, my noble knight.
Excellent. That's exactly what will work well on Lachlan from that perspective.
Oh my god.
Who arrives next out of the three of you?
We gotta roll off, and whoever gets lowest is the next person.
Okay.
All right, okay.
I feel like that's the right way of playing it.
I like
Roland.
that. I like it.
Protocol.
EricVulgaris setting policy here.
I got a 5.
Eric got a 4.
I got it. Yeah, but I got a 9 total.
You have
Do
a
you have-
+5 protocol?
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jasper knows how to be fancy.
What do you got? Probably not a +4.
No, I got a 2.
So it's your choice, Jasper. Arrive second or arrive third?
Whichever one's better. Like, I guess third.
Okay. Kuro,
Save the best for last.
you arrive. Who is your escort?
How do you pronounce it?
Von Hohenheim.
Von Hohenheim. Yes, and Kuro is dressed in an outfit that I posted with like kind of a side cape, a bit more formal than he normally wears. But there is some exposure of like the tattoo and symbol of his family on the back of his neck. And that's pretty much like the main exposure that's there. But then yes, he would arrive and approach Jana von Hohenheim.
So she's wearing a shoulderless silk one-piece Twitter blue silk pleated skirt. There's a fucking enormous bow. I mean, we're talking the bow is like 3 feet tall on the back end of the dress, and it drapes down almost to the ground. She's holding note cards, and as she takes your arm without waiting for any bowing or anything, she's just like, I've prepared conversation topics for us tonight, and begins dragging you down the red carpet.
And like it just kind of like Kuro is trying to hold up pleasantries and I appreciate the efforts that you put in. As you may know, I am not very
I was excited by what you had to say on the news broadcast the other day. Incredible that you would come out in favor of peace with the Draconis Combine and trade.
Of course. The challenge we face now is not observing all the options, and those that we can keep close, we know more about, as with any tactics.
So she stops you at the top of the red carpet, top of the stairs, takes your hand and kisses it, and says, I can see we're going to have a lot to talk about tonight.
I agree.
And then she drags you back in. Jasper, who do you arrive with?
Oh, that's a really good surprise, right?
Yeah.
So we see another Supoko show up.
Oh!
Jasper. Tamara Ito, Kuro's cousin.
Cameras are flashing everywhere as this is Lady Tamara Ito's first public appearance. You know, you're 18, but you're a war hero. She's 16, but she's a very popular lady. Very passionate about the dojo work. People are
She's a
just
huge influencer.
Yeah, so people are just like, what a great couple. Amazing, incredible. When she shows up, we're talking silk ruffling, lots of pink colorations with black accent lining. She's got one of those fancy old style fans as well. And she holds out a hand for you and says, Baron.
And lady, and yeah, so Jasper is dressed in pretty complementary colors as best I can while also having my house colors presented. So what I imagine is that I'm wearing actually a base color, or so you said it was like not pink, right? It was what were the colors you used?
Oh, for her, pink
Yeah,
with black.
right. So I imagine my suit, or really more, it's kind of like an Indian, or like yeah, like a Sharwami kind of style suit that's be sort of that mostly black
That
with like a little
arcab
bit of pink.
influence.
Yeah, right. With a little bit of pink on it, and maybe like in like the little pocket squares pink. While I wear my black and gold emblazoned sort
People
of
are talking about that pocket square, right?
yeah.
Like people are just, there's a lot of looks.
We're
There's
dressed to match.
cameras
Yeah.
everywhere.
This
She's
is
just like, I'm so glad that we coordinated.
said, yeah, I say I'm gotta be my best self as we kind of go inside and we
As
do
you
our
say
fake
that,
smiles.
the microphones are all picking it up, and the reporters are just smiling, like, "Oh, teenagers,
Yeah.
so ridiculous."
Doing the little you know,
So
Miss
she's
America
just
wave.
like,
That's what
yeah,
we're doing.
yeah. Tamaria is just like, now I'm only escorting you because you obviously need someone to assist you at this party. And I'm just covering you in the same way that you covered my completely unreliable cousin. I could clearly see that his Mac was almost completely destroyed in that battle. I'll make sure that you don't suffer the same kind of damage here.
Yeah. This is all said through smiling teeth as we're like waving, right? Yeah.
They're getting like a bunch of.
And I'm like, I know. I was like, I don't disagree with her at all. But like, I just let her talk about it. Like, I'm absolutely in a completely agreement. And then like maybe there's a quick, in order to convey this, maybe there's a quick cut to like her removing my pocket score and putting this one that she picked out into my pocket, being like perfect, and like opening the door.
she's not going to do that. Actually,
okay,
she's 100% with your pocket square. You know what?
There's
there's something like insight
yeah.
here.
Let's do that. Let's do that then.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
Let's
then.
insight this. This is not
Who's pocket squares who?
Yeah.
The pocket square power play.
I'm sure there's something like
insight, right?
Perception. It's called perception.
Sure. What's perception based on? Intelligence. Perfect.
While this is going on, I wanted to flash real fast because I remember I
Okay.
forgot to really describe my outfit.
12.
I have the colors of like a rich purple, and I do have like a highlight color of the blue of House von Hohenheim.
Jasper, you thought this was just a political thing. This young woman seems completely smitten with you.
Oh shit!
You're recalling the heart-dotted eyes, the pink calligraphied paper.
Yeah.
She's saying this is just business, but what she's really saying is something quite different.
Right.
So while you might believe, up until this very moment, you might have believed this is a business arrangement, and you're just like, oh shit.
Okay. That's fine.
I love it.
Yeah.
Kuro, your cousin walks in. She was not scheduled to be here. She didn't tell you she had an invite to this party, and she is draped across Jasper Hiroka. Absolutely attached to him in a way a parasite would be.
That's a little mean.
Oh, absolutely attached
she
to
knows
him
how
like
to.
a schoolgirl in love.
You see that about your cousin.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like,
it's obvious to you, but to everyone
Yeah.
else, it's literally like perfect, like king queen, like hand on. You know what I mean? Like interlocked
Well,
hand waves.
it's like that, that loving and like deep seated rivalry that Tamari and I have, just like rises to the surface
As soon as you see her, she goes, huh, and pretends not to notice you. And says something to Jasper instead. She's just like, oh, look, someone's here.
And I lean into Jana's ear and I say, well, that's an unexpected bump.
And you see that I'm playing, and I think the interesting here, this is really, really cool actually. Let's zoom in on that for a moment, because I also don't say hi to you, because she and you realize that she has the lead and realize that she's leading me through this. And so like I'm doing that thing with my eyes where I'm like, I'm sorry, man. Like, you know what I mean? like you see me doing that. Yeah, time. Right. Like, and then it clicks that she's here, like basically using me to, and I'm using her to like socially protect me in this
Yeah.
way because because she's okay, right.
Yeah,
It dawns on you when you realize that I don't say hi to you too.
I've had enough counterintelligence like body reading training to be able to recognize
significant PC glances. Got it.
Yes, exactly.
Meanwhile, in the background, Lachlan is
Sorry.
just laughing his ass off.
So at this point, Tamari will introduce you to Baroness Jana von Hohenheim, while not ignoring Kuro, but listing him second in the order of persons of importance. She gives Jana a bow, as would be expected of a lady to a baroness, and says, "Presenting to you, Baroness, Baron Jasper Hiroka, war hero and dragon slayer. And of course, Jasper, I'm sure you already know Kuro."
And there's like kind of like this like squinting of eyes and but a little bit of aversion. Like there's a clear anxiety on Kuro's face.
Oh no,
having
she's
Tamari
100%
here.
staring at you while she has an arm on Jasper's shoulder. Like, yeah, that's right. This is happening.
I just like I kind of like I imagine Jana's arm is around or in some way connected.
Jana has linked arms with you, but only so she can hide that she has a note card, and she's quickly thumbing through them to find the entry for Jasper.
Mhm.
So, and it lists safe topics and not safe topics. And on not safe topics, it's just Lil Drac circled 3 times.
And I think Eddie, if you don't mind, I think we have a mutual respect for one another because like our pasts kind of, and so I think at this point, when we do the introduction thing, like we do the little formal, like we do like the formal bow and stuff, but then
Between
like,
us two,
we fist bump, just because we're a little bit closer, we're actually friends. Like I would like to say that our characters, I would even spend a destiny point to declare that we have a friendship. If we had to.
There's no need to.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No
We're
need
just
for
like
it.
warlock, like
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what
that's
I mean?
right. We forgot to reveal everyone's new call signs.
Yeah. So this is the perfect time, right? Where
Yeah.
I fist, where we do the formal bow thing, and then like we quickly do a little.
I kind of imagine it. I kind of imagine it being more of like a firm, like we have our hands locked into our ladies, and then like the other hand we lock together and we both nod to each other, and I would say huntsman,
warlock, doctor.
doctor. Little inside humor, sorry. And like there's like a moment of pause where the ladies kind of maybe look back and forth between each other.
Yeah.
Tamari is going to pull
Oh no.
Lachlan into this conversation and his escort, and Tamari will introduce her. If I might introduce, please, Lady Moritomo. And she gives a kind of elegant bow while not meeting anybody's eyes and says, "I'm so pleased to be on your beautiful world, and I look forward to seeing the magnificent forests of Whittington. To receive an invite to the Kerensky Ball is beyond my wildest dreams."
This is Haru.
Yes, Haru Takao Moritomo.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, okay, let's be clear here. She's 27, so she's much older than the two of you.
Yeah.
And Jana and Lachlan is the only one anywhere near her age here in this little group. Tamari is, it's not that she's scared of her, but it's like she doesn't know how to deal with the elephant in the room.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
She's kind of trying to drag you away from this, Jasper. Like, let's talk to Lachlan and get out of here, is her, like, slight whisper.
Inject.
Yeah.
Like, we can't be seen with this woman. Who knows what she's going to do?
While that is happening, Lachlan is making the exact opposite move and like going to like clap his friends on the shoulder and like do that thing where it like looks a lot like he wants to stay and talk for a while.
I love it.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like Kuro would a little bit nudge Jana to kind of lead the conversation here as someone who perhaps...
I feel like what's going to happen is Jana is going to enter into discussions with Lady Moritomo about the business that they could have across the Combine, and Tamari having no other choice will, you know, like the men and the women groups split up for a moment, and Tamari is just like, oh god, this is the worst.
Yeah. So this is why I think there needs to be some sort of test here to be like, do I get pulled out of this conversation or not? Or and that's either like, am I the one who does this, or is this like Tamari's ability to get me to realize this is happening? Right.
I think Tamari is definitely going to do what she can to force you to not be in a conversation with this
right,
woman.
and exactly, and so I think rather than me be the test, I think Tamari would do it, and
I don't
totally
think she needs to make a
open
test. This is the thing she is skilled at. Is
okay, right. Well,
influencing.
so, and I guess to me, I see the dramatic moment here of being like, I'm torn between like hanging out with my friends right here and like doing the right thing.
No, she's in 100% useful girlfriend mode. She takes the hit for you and lets you go talk to your cool friends. Well, she falls on this sword. She's just like, she will not allow you to talk to this woman under any circumstances because it could be real bad for you.
Okay, so she does. There goes my hero.
Yeah. While that is happening, Lachlan is totally oblivious, and he's just like gonna clap both of you on the shoulders and just be like, "Gentlemen, what a night! Would you have guessed we three would land here? Who could have known?"
It's been quite a surprise for sure. Exciting, to say the least. And like, there's an obvious nervousness in Kuro's like being surrounded by these people. I, as you have noticed, accepted an invitation from John von Hohenheim. I hope that is not disruptive. And he looks specifically to Jasper, to your principals and to your family. I know that you have an alliance with House Genji. And they are a bit opposed.
It's politics. Honestly, he talks. It's more words than action.
Come now, it's a party.
I don't know what I'm talking about, and maybe you know but I'm just real smooth right now.
Yeah. And I would like to kind of glance over a little bit to Tamari and say, Tamari, I mean, I know that she is.
She'll glance over to you and extract herself. Jana and Haru are speaking very high-level transit logistics. They're just like, oh yes, my jump ship will be available quite soon. We could bring supplies over immediately. I mean, if you are lacking toilet paper, we have so much available locally on Whittington. As you know, we have so many trees that we can produce it in high numbers. And
I think
our local tea supplies are running quite low, especially the aged black tea.
I think Lachlan is like takes that moment while they're he's talking to his cousin. He's just gonna like kind of be there, just like nodding, like pretending he's part of this conversation.
Tamari, her eyes are practically going in swirly signs before she extracts herself to talk to Kuro, which is still slightly less irritating than this conversation. And she sighs and she's just like, "What do you want?"
Ooh, okay.
I'm here on a date, okay?
Well, yes, but you could have told me, and then we would have been able to...
What would you have said? No?
Of course not. I am not your master. You are your own woman.
She steps close to you so that no one else can hear, and she's just like, listen, he's available. I'm staking a claim tonight, okay? This is very important for our house's future.
And I kind of there's like a softness in his eyes, and
she's like, no, don't give me that. You need to get married immediately.
I know.
Jana von Hohenheim? Really?
She matches many of the ideals of our family.
And she's just like, really? And she gestures over to Jana, who is still going through note cards in her hand. She's, like, Jana believes that no one has caught on to this note card thing, but, like, people outside the building know about it by this point.
Yeah.
She's like, she's a nerd! You're a war hero!
Look at these graphs.
Yeah. She counters some things that I lack. It is a powerful coupling.
Are you attracted to her?
Kind of a gauge, like I mean, I don't want to So from the like spectrum of types, there is like an intelligence that like after the deep dive into what I know of the von Hohenheim family and of Jana herself, she definitely fits kind of like that type that that Kuro appreciates. And then in terms of physical attractiveness, like she is a
I would assume that her actor would probably be Katie Sackhoff from Battlestar Galactica.
100%. Then yeah.
Okay.
Then like Kuro would like kind of nervous glance like, yes, she is attractive, but I that is here nor there. What is important is our family and what we can bring to the people. I
So
believe
when
it
you
is
say
important.
that, she's still leaning in close to you, and she's just like, when Lachlan went on the Donegal Broadcasting Corporation, he was able to talk about his level of romance. The reason that you can't do this is why you will always be a disappointment to the family. Always with the duty and the war, and never about what you need. Okay?
And like you see kind of a defeated look from Kuro, something that happens often when when Tamari like fucking gets into the social aspects of their lives. Yes, I know. Well, for what it's worth, I approve of your choice for this evening. And then he walks.
So
he
when
walks
you say that, she snaps her fan out and she says, "Your aunt would be disappointed if I didn't tell you to use protection tonight." And then she huffs and returns to Jasper's side.
Boy.
Yeah, listen, Lady Tamara Ito is out here to play hardball.
Oh yeah, no, and like Kuro is just like respect. Like this is one of those times that he's a little bit proud of his cousin, where like he kind of hates it. He's like it's one of the parts that he's not good at. And they they have a healthy rivalry. So
at this moment, someone hacks the local DJ system, and the theme song of a particular local noble begins playing as he enters into the room. Sebastian Bassett, his like incredible DJ skills begin going on displays. He enters. All of you have come in pairs. He's got like 15-person entourage with him. He's wearing a Han Solo from A New Hope outfit, like
Nice.
loose white shirt, pants with a belt and a vest. He's got incredibly deeply tanned skin, lightning bolt emblem earrings, sun bleached blonde hair. It is a look that he has perfected.
Guy Fieri meets Han Solo. Okay.
wow.
He enters in and everybody
Meets the Flash.
Everybody
Or
is
Flash Gordon.
rolling their eyes as he enters, and the music's like dun, 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 dun. And he's just like, thank you everyone. Sebastian in the house. That's right.
Wow.
He sees you, Jasper, and he points at you and is like, I'm gonna talk to that guy later, and then just keeps walking into the place. You could see Yohei is over by the DJ station, just speaking quietly, threatening the DJ, like, return to the music I paid you to play. Fear consequences.
I imagine kind of when this happens, has the two groups kind of coalesced again, or
Yes, seems so.
Okay, so the ladies are back with us. I kind of do let's see, what would be like a something that a gentleman would carry, not like like kind of like the fan that Tamara used. Is there something that a gentleman would carry?
Wine glass.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
you bring your own glass. Are we bringing that back?
Bringing it back 100%. That's
you bring your own houseware.
Nice.
I love it. So it's not just a glass, it's actually like something that was made by the students in the dojo. And yeah, so
World's
it's like
best teacher.
Just as number one senpai, just a coffee mug is like dented and shit.
they were yes, they were being taught blacksmithing. Yeah, of course. And so they made me a goblet.
Oh God.
And he just holds it up high and whispers into John's ear and says, "I hope the conversation went well."
Jonna is just like, I am excited by the political ramifications of our union. I cannot wait to begin relief efforts.
Yes. However, it is wise to make sure that we have buy-in from many of our courts, even those that oppose us, if possible.
She looks confused and she's just like, we're nobility. Anybody who opposes us is the enemy.
Well, I will do my best to support the conversations that you have then.
I mean, okay, make a persuasion check real quick here.
Okay. Let's see. Oh my god. Yeah, this is not necessarily something I'm skilled at.
So the
think,
skill is
actually,
going to be called
because I might have an inability.
negotiation.
The skill is called negotiation.
Yep, it's charisma skill.
Okay. Do not have it like as a set skill, so it's just my charisma, probably, right?
Correct.
Which is a 1.
That's not so good for you.
Yeah.
Someone call that really bad for you.
Same though.
But I also have introvert as a negative trait.
I see.
Which I believe gives me a -1, but I think that's for persuasion. I don't know. I forgot to write down a note on that. I'm sorry.
Introvert. You take a -1 to charisma related tests. So you
Cool.
actually you have your charisma -1 as a bonus.
Your
So
charisma is 0.
yeah, you
Yep.
have a -1 on this. You need to hit
This is
a
great.
10. So
Oh,
you
boy.
need to roll an 11 or higher on the dice.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Easy, no problem.
Cool.
You can only spend edge once.
Edge rerolls 1 die.
I believe so.
I also have the lucky.
That is only when you're in your mech.
Got it.
Mech specific.
Lovely. Phew.
Nope. Even if you re-roll, you will still fail.
Cool. And I kind of imagine this maybe where Kuro clearly gets a little bit unsettled, and kind of sighs in exasperation of being a bit nervous, just being in so much limelight.
Yeah. So she gives you a mysterious look. You feel kind of like you're being appraised. And then she turns away and says, "Would you like to dance?"
Kuro politely bows and maybe has like it's one of those moments like prior to this did not have a smile. The smile returns and says, "Yes, I would gladly dance with you."
And she says, "I learned this on New Avalon," and pulls you into a dance style you have no fucking clue what's going on.
Oh dear.
You're 20 years behind on dance styles as far as this is concerned. Lachlan, You're like, ugh, that's so 5 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think Lachlan will ask the Lady Moritomo to dance if we're going that way. I think Lachlan's probably a pretty good dancer, right? Like he's used to this
absolutely.
kind of shit.
I'm not even going to ask you to make a roll on this. As you're dancing, though, she's going to try to converse with you.
Excellent.
She says something like, "I want to again repeat my appreciation for your bringing me here. There are many people whom I would like to speak with, like the energetic Miss Hohenheim."
I am glad that you're enjoying your time.
Are you enjoying your time?
Of course, my lady. I find it quite impossible not to have a good time at events such as this.
How refreshingly energetic of you.
And then he'll say, please let me know who else you want to speak with. I'd be happy to introduce you, though it's been some time since I've been on Whittington itself. I do know most of the faces.
She says, let's finish our dance then. I'm sure there'll be time to speak with everyone.
Excellent. I'm sure you'll make a remarkable impression.
So she has a moment of frank candor with you and says, do you really mean that, or are you just being polite?
Of course. I wouldn't dream of lying to you, my lady. That would be a horrible breach of honor.
I believe you when you say that.
Excellent. He just beams and keeps dancing.
Jasper, there's no dancing in your dance card tonight. You are being dragged from person to person, being introduced. Okay. Anytime that any woman shows any amount of interest in you, Tamari creates a sort of barrier, like.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
she's willing to introduce you, right, and get those details, the deets. But anytime somebody's just like, I would love to dance with you, she's like, the Baron is very busy tonight, meeting everyone. I'm sure by the next Kerensky ball or another social engagement, miss.
Am I smart enough to realize what she's doing?
Yeah, absolutely. There's no attempt to hide this at all.
Okay. Well then, I would kind of go along with it.
Look, you're close friends with the Seppaku family. You're doing some math in your head, and you're definitely feeling that she's aiming for a sort of house union here.
Yeah, no, I definitely pick on that now. The question is,
there's no subtlety involved in this.
Has there been any people I've been introduced at this point that are maybe better matches for me?
Oh, I mean, she's a lady, right? And she doesn't bring anything to the table that you don't already have with your friendship with House Seppaku. Right? Yeah. You will definitely solidify that union in a marital way, or unite the houses. There are plenty of other women.
Everybody likes Seppaku.
Correct. Well, no.
What?
Not all the nobles.
He literally has the trait that says like everyone likes him.
They might like him, but his house, not quite the same thing.
I thought he has. Oh, okay. So
yes.
His house doesn't have a good reputation.
Yes. I mean, his house is literally former assassinist murderers.
Yeah. See,
betrayed the Combine. So
that maybe isn't necessarily what's good for me long term.
Are you letting that on to this young woman?
Well, it depends on who the other people I've been introduced to are, because for me, I know I need to get married really soon, like yesterday soon.
Yeah.
The downside here is that I also need to marry to repair my family's reputation or solidify it forever. That's what's most important to me right now. And now that I see that Tamari isn't just her, I'm gonna protect you through this social thing, is also
it's a childish crush. So
yeah, I know. I see what she's doing, and I realize now that maybe, I need to keep this in mind, and so I'm actually really now playing the field, so to speak, of I'm thinking about every person that I'm introduced to as a possible match after seeing her do it the first time.
Make a perception roll.
Yeah, makes sense.
Set the difficulty at 11.
Well, I have no perception, so
that's really unfortunate.
Okay.
Wow, that almost was double sixes, mate.
And you said that's intelligence, right?
It is intelligence.
Oh, so that's a 10.
You want to edge to reroll that 3 into something more useful. You got a 50-50 shot.
What's the? Do I know the difficulty? What am
11. You need to get one higher.
Hell yeah, I'm spending that at.
Okay.
This is. What does success look like here? What am I?
Success is going to be you have.
You don't have to tell me the answer, but tell me.
Success is that somebody else is trying to get in contact with you who might be a better match. I'm not saying they are a better match, just that from your point of view, you might be interested in this person.
Yeah, totally. Okay.
From my point of view, Lady Tamari is a wonderful partner. She's awesome and amazing.
She's definitely the best NPC so far. You should marry her.
You're like, we need to keep her on.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm spending the edge. I'm re-rolling it. 50-50 chance, everybody.
Yes.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Ooh, this feels good, man.
All right. So you know that you pick up on the fact that someone is watching you move about this party. You know, you sense eyes on you, and you're not really sure where it's coming from until you notice someone step out from behind the shadow of Senpai. Hiding behind, well, not hiding behind, but in conversation with Yohei Genji is a woman in her 30s, ice blue eyes, blonde hair done up into a very severe ponytail. Rather than wear a dress or a suit or anything like that, she's wearing aerospace pilot fatigues.
Audrey.
This is Audrey Lafayette, and you know that she is closely aligned with House Genji. And it doesn't seem to have any romance in it, and she is appraising you as you're moving around the room. Like, you could see that she's doing the math that you're not really into this little flop of a girl, right? She's like, oh, who's this dust sprite here? That she's looking at you like, oh, this could be a powerful union between our houses. She's doing the math.
I'm gonna stage a getaway for myself to steal some time with Audrey.
Okay, all right. Look at Mr.
I would like to do this.
Playing the field.
Mobile Frame Zero Firebrands here.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Do I need to like? Is this? The question here is like, is this a sort of test of like cunning wit to like get out of the box, the defensive zone?
No, I think that
or are you just gonna give it to me? And what's more interesting?
I'll just give it to you because at some point she'll be in discussion with someone and have her back turned, and you just excuse yourself quietly. And when she turns around, it would be rude to interrupt two barons speaking.
Sure, I wanted to know whether or not there'd be like a confrontation about it. This
there might be later, privately between the two.
Okay,
of them.
sure.
But as you begin approaching her, Baroness Audrey gestures for you to join her out on a private terrace.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And I would like I would like to stake that maybe she won't hear about it if I can make a roll or something about the end of it. It was discreet enough.
Okay.
Possible?
You can just show up and be like, yeah, I was just getting punished.
Well, I don't want to get punished for it, so it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Audrey is standing, holding a drink while in her aerospace outfit. And let's be clear here. Aerospace outfits are literally skin tight in the Battletech universe because they need to be able to withstand upwards of multiple Gs. We're talking like 10 or more.
Yeah. I'm drinking my local family's IPA. like my farmland, you know?
Yeah.
IPA.
That dank brew, of course.
Yeah. So whatever that is. Or maybe it's a Hefeweizen because it's like wheat fields. Whatever. It's immaterial. The point is that I'm doing this as a favor for my own, like repping my own families and like my connections with my family. Like showing off that like even in a good place here, I'm giving them distinguishment, right?
Is
like,
it called Shire Brew?
Shire.
Oh my god.
Right. So like this is the 100th, the 11th double breakfast, double stout.
Ooh, double breakfast. I like the name of that.
Excellent.
You're right.
There's 2 strips of bacon on the label.
Perfect.
Enough to attract any male eye.
Anyways, you know what I mean? Like I'm drinking this. I kind of enjoy it, but if we want to talk about our drinks and stuff like that, that would be cool. But yeah, we have a chance to steal a little
She's drinking something called a PPC, a particle projectile cannon, which is a shot in a beer.
Awesome.
It creates a sort of blue foaming liquid that looks a lot like a particle projectile. Yeah. And she just looks out at the night sky and says, "Welcome, Jasper."
Oh, it's very nice to see you too. Is she dame or lady or?
She's Baroness. She's also the head of planetary security. So
yeah, I'm dressing her. I'm gonna dress
Sir
her.
would also be
always,
appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah. Then I would address her as sir until she tells me like
Please,
we can't.
it's Audrey.
Dispense with the pleasant. All right, Audrey. Yeah.
Your actions and your alignment with our faction have earned that level of closeness.
Thank you. Tell you what, I also feel like I deserve a little bit of reward getting out from under the thumb of my date here.
I mean, when you say that, she's gonna grab the front of that suit and pull you in for a kiss.
Oh, Okay.
You're like, I need a reward.
Yeah, I don't have it. I don't have. Oh, I meant.
I
like,
know
this
what
fresh
you
air is
mean.
a reward. I know, but
I
she
know
doesn't
what you
realize.
mean,
Yeah,
but
and I
that's not
realized
what
I
she
just stepped
means.
on my tongue. Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
and she does, and I will obviously go along with the kiss. I'm not rude, but I'm also very surprised. um, ah, so that is your directness afoot.
She sighs and turns with a smirk and just says, I can see that you're a little inexperienced, but I can work with this.
I think you would also find that I'm a fast learner.
She snorts, but doesn't turn back to look at you.
So
I'll be honest. I've been taking a look at your house for some time. Since the lake bombings. I've been investigating you from a planetary security standpoint. And while people have a lot to say about you, you seem to be loyal. You're also unattached. And you've declared your anti-Combine sympathies. I would not be opposed to a union of the houses. I know this is somewhat fast and forward, but
desperate times.
we both require heirs.
Both require heirs, and
Your joining our faction would make us the most powerful bloc on the planet. Or if you'd like something younger, you can go back to Lady Ito, of course. As she says that, she turns to face you, glaring as if daring you to do it. Like, take a step, and you'll die.
Oh,
I think you would find that I have a different taste in partners than I do mechs. Referring to like my newer mech, like getting the newest model or youngest thing.
Oh,
So
wow.
I think I'm just saying that I think I'm saying that I have like I think you would find, I'm not saying that I'm attracted. I'm just saying that it does, I'm not always after the youngest greatest thing. Right. I'm saying I'm just saying I'm open to it. I'm not saying like I'm into older women. I'm just saying I'm open, I'm just not beholden to the youngest thing on the the newest thing on the block. I'm smoother. Jasper is smoother than me.
She's still watching you flounder with this.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I understand, but I feel like this is definitely going to be a roll.
Oh.
All right.
Negotiation, I would think.
All right, I got negotiation.
It's good. You're going to need it. You're going to have to hit a 10. Oh, that's a 10 on the dice just to start with. Wow.
So that's a 14.
Wow. All right. Yeah.
No, this is good. I'm asserting myself here, AP. Like, sorry to cut you off again. I feel bad. I'm really bad at it.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, no, like I want to assert that, like, hey, I can also take control, and I know what I want, and I also know that I'm cutting, and not that, like, I'm trying and in a way presenting that not only know right now, but I'm open to it, and then I'm also smart and understand the situation, what's going on. Like, I'm trying to say, like, I'm more confident than I lead on as well. I'm not like a young little whippersnapper.
She says, and she turns to face you. Right. Well, she's already facing you because she's dared you to go see this other woman, and says, there will need to be more conversations, and we'll have to speak to the lawyers, of course. But I'll be keeping an eye on you from above.
Good. Well, consider this a first interesting remark. What would you have me do about Strax?
Vote in our favor at the Senate. That's all that will be required. If you're looking to do a personal favor for me, rather than a favor for the anti-Draconian faction, I could use expanded powers in my investigatory search for whoever committed the lake bombing. I would appreciate your support in such a matter.
We should get to the bottom of that. And so I'm that's a non-committal.
I know, and she's never going to let you off on that. Miss Palpatine is not going to let you walk away from this.
Oh,
Yeah,
She
well,
doubles down and is just like, Chancellor powers would be very important towards completing my objectives. Wouldn't you agree? We cannot allow traitors and sympathizers to run free, Jasper.
damn it, AP.
I know. Trying to listen. You signed up for
No.
this. You made your bed
I
when
can't
you
commit.
signed up with Genji.
Yeah, I won't. All right, so let me ask you this question, because like
Yeah.
I feel like we've been dancing around it. She knows that I'm exonerated from it.
She has claimed that she believes that you are innocent and has been investigating you for some time.
And so if I gave her powers, that would like really clean up the air.
It could
Like
be.
I could see that this could also like I could use this as a way of exonerating myself.
Yes.
Right. Okay, cool.
Throwing massive public support behind her would be like someone being like, I've got nothing to hide.
Yeah. I know myself I have nothing to hide. So I don't see why I would vote no to such a administration order should it come to vote.
She is going to ruffle your hair and kiss you on the forehead as she returns to the party at this point. Her objective secure.
That was a non-binding resolution. I walk back to the party.
Excellent.
I do feel like I want to have a moment with Jana on like a balcony where like after we finish our dance,
You go onto their balcony right after they've left. It's the same balcony.
There's only one balcony.
Like,
there's a line,
There's only
buddy.
one.
I like in passing, like I see
No,
Jasper.
no, you never catch them. Well,
Okay.
no, wait. Now's the time for Jasper to make a stealth roll for his sneaking. Right? It's not to avoid you specifically. It's
Right,
to avoid.
Sure. This is a
lady
stealth
attention.
roll. This is a
Yes.
stealth roll, but it's charisma based.
I will accept that. Ooh.
Oh no.
Those dice came up with a 5.
Is that an 8? An 8? Is this
An
a
eight.
versus a perception?
Yeah, this is not going to cut it for you, unfortunately. You're going to need a little bit something more.
Do you have your
I already
reroll?
used my. Nope.
Oh.
I already burned it.
Can I give
Burn it.
you mine?
No.
Oh, all right.
That is something that they changed from a time of war to this system, is that you can't transfer such things anymore. Yeah, it's not that you get caught or anything, but not just Lady Tamari, but everybody, including Kuro, noticed you come off that balcony right behind your new friend and possible wife.
Yeah. Lots to think about.
Yeah.
Kuro, you head out there with Jana, who seems to have, in the way that you're introverted, her extroversion has exploded outwardly. She has reached a new level of power and energy through talking to everybody about trade, negotiation, political ideals, ethics of warfare. Half the room is exhausted from talking to her, but she has gotten commitments out of so many people. And she's so excited to just stand with you out on the balcony and just, in the cold, just be like, oh my goodness, this has been the best Kerensky ball I can ever remember.
And like you see Kuro, like the camera after like her just exuberance of energy, like it pans over to Kuro, and Kuro's just like, like
She puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "Are you all right?"
I am not used to these engagements quite yet. It is one of the failings that I've had in my trainings as in intelligence operations.
That seems like it'd be a very serious failing.
Yes, you might imagine, but I find my ways around it. And is one of the reasons why I appreciate your engagement with myself. As you may have guessed, I am at least skilled in tactics. And I recognize not only the benefit of our family's union, but also and I think at this moment, like there's a moment of courage that like she sees on Kuro's face, and like the energy from her kind of like counterbalance, and he straightens up and looks deeply into her eyes. leans in and kind of like edges in to see if she reciprocates.
Okay, interesting. Interesting. Why don't you make a straight charisma roll?
Okay.
No skill. We got to see if you have game, Kuro.
Yeah, I know. Kuro is not necessarily the best of that. You know, it's all good.
You have a -1 on this. Oh my god, you got game! Alright, yeah. At first it's clear that she doesn't understand what it is you're doing, but then she catches on when you keep moving closer, even though you're nervous about it, and she's just like, oh. And she's, you know.
Well,
She
okay,
does a
so
there's definitely a moment of calculation where she's like, is this gonna work? And then she goes for it.
yeah, and like there's, and I think this is like a learning moment for Kuro, where he kind of like sees the potential of not just this, but also like I can learn a lot from this person.
Okay.
Basically the way that she navigated, and I like after we go in, there's a moment, and I say, I believe there's a lot we can help each other with, and as you said, and thank you.
She's just like looking at you and just like, you smell really nice.
And like there's a clear like
Not listening to anything you
blush.
say. She's just looking in your eyes.
Yeah, and he kind of gets lost into it. Again, the introversion just kind of coming over to him.
Lachlan,
You know it.
I want to talk to you about a man. That man's name is Sebastian Bassett.
Oh dear.
He has waited until this perfect moment. He's never paid any attention to you, but his social groups have been moving in the same groups you've been moving at. And in the one instance that you turn away from Lady Moritomo, he's facing you. And he's grabbing you by the arm, and he's just like, all right, Lachlan McDougal, everybody. And you can see little Draka on the other side of the room is just like, Lachlan McDougal's a bitch.
Okay.
Sebastian's just like, can I talk to you for a moment, bro?
Of course you can.
So he pulls you into a hallway, and he's just like, listen, bro. You gonna hit that?
I'm afraid that such matters are left between me and the lady.
Lachlan, come on, man. We're both barons here. I know how it goes. You're the White Knight. It's all right, player. I got you covered. Look, you just say the word. My boys will get both of you out of here, past the Federated Suns Guards, past the Internal Security Forces. ISF ain't shit. I got a very nice sports car in my name, a rental. No one's going to be able to find it. You can go take a ride to some of those trees she wants to look at. I hear it's going to look really good in the autumn morning.
Bassett, I appreciate your...
Just say unique charms. I know.
Yes, that. However, I think I'm just all right for the time being.
Yeah, you are just all right. That's why I'm trying to help you out.
Yes, well, you're now verging on to the air of insulting. I've been away for some time, Bassett, but trust me, the air of Solaris is thick with your type of foolishness.
He slaps you on the back and says, it's Sebastian, by the way. No need to be so informal, Lachlan.
Just shrugs. It's like, is there anything else I can help you with?
The number of things you could help me with are greater than the stars in the sky. However, I will not impose. He like gives you a bow. I would not impose upon such a gentleman on his evening with his darling.
Well, I appreciate that. Anyway, it was nice running into you.
So he whips out a pair of aviators and sticks them on his face and shouts, Bassett! And his entourage gathers around him as they leave. Genji is just like, you cannot leave before the toast has been given, Sebastian. And he's just like, yeah, fuck you!
Oh my god.
Sebastian out!
You cannot leave until the toast is...
Yeah, exactly. Like everyone here who, all of the lesser nobility and industry magnates who've been coming to this for years are shocked, and all of the new nobility, like yourselves, are all just like, well, that was weird. Like, I guess the guy just wanted to leave a party. Okay.
Yeah, all right then.
No big deal.
Lachlan is just shaking his head. It's just like, yeah, he's used to this kind of person, right? Like, he's used to it, and he's not a big fan. You know, he's a little more old fashioned in that kind of way.
This is literally half the people in Solaris.
Right, you're right.
That is where we shall end. I suppose we'll have to get to politics next time.
Nice.
Friends, please take 4 experience points.
Ooh.
I'm almost have enough for a new mech.
So you don't want any of those neat skills that you could get or something like that?
Mech,
Yo.
mech.
I don't know, man. I need to up my politicking skills. I think that's kind of what I was leading into with the whole Jana.
Upgrade your romance skills more like.
Yeah, romance, and I know.
Okay.
Any final comments before we wrap up the session? I don't know how you guys felt about the Kerensky ball.
Oh,
How
that's
do you
good.
prep this shit? This is
It was
so
great.
good.
That was awesome.
It's been like 5 weeks waiting for this. I honestly thought it would go faster than this, but we did so much in between time where we learned a lot more about your characters.
Yeah, we had a lot of like pre-ball shenanigans that we
That's
just
true.
threw on you immediately. You
That's
handled it
perfectly
great.
fine. We
This
had a
was
lot
like-
of James Jives.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Yeah, and
It-
I interrupt every 5 minutes with a scene of what it looks
It's
like.
quite
As a joke,
alright.
So I verbally shit post as we play.
I thought that this was like a really good thing that like kind of we needed after like the 2 sessions of mech
Yeah.
fight to like get a
That's
little
true.
feel of like who these people are and like
Yeah.
what they look like
Yeah.
outside of the cockpit. And I think we got a good starting feeling of all these characters, which we needed. So
You can see. I mean, like that's exactly it. Like the juxtaposition that Kuro has in the cockpit versus has in like a stately affair was a clear difference.
Yeah.
And that was kind of what I was trying to project there. So
yeah, I really like that dichotomy because Lachlan is just as like kind of like hot-headed and like big and boasting like in and out of the mech. So having that like dynamic where it's like Lachlan is really just about the same like ridiculous over the top person. And then you have that very like
Firestarter.
changing dynamic with Kuro. So I like that a lot. I think that's good.
Good.
We'll return next week by finishing out the Kerensky ball, and then we'll jump right into the Winter Senate, and then we'll figure out what 3026 is going to look like. Maybe there
Oh.
might be a curveball in between here and there. Could
Well,
be a
you know, with
business
the-
opportunity on the table.
with opposing factions
Sure.
potentially creating alliances and all kinds of fun shit.
This is
Uh,
awesome, AP.
what I like the most is that Kuro and and Jasper have just, solidified how close their houses are, and now they both solidly ended up on opposite sides of political factions.
Yep.
I
Yep.
love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep.
Their friendship will be rent apart. Their houses will be torn asunder.
No,
All
it's-
of
we're
Fair
gonna figure it
Verona
out.
will be in battle.
Yeah. Will we survive the politics? Will our friendship survive the politics?
I mean, will your friendship survive turning Lady Tamare down midway through? I mean,
yeah, I know.
listen, this is gonna be a real conversation after this.
Yep, I'm aware.
Excellent.
I'm gonna need to talk to you, AP, about like what it means, because I need to look at what it actually means.
I mean, turning down a 16-year-old girl who follows you around with puppy love is one thing, but
Yeah.
there was house politics involved in here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How much is
Mhm.
Kuro gonna be willing to recover from this wound?
Gus is gonna be
It
like,
isn't a very
kill him.
honorable.
Whatever you do, kill him.
It isn't a very honorable move.
All I
He would
want to
not be a
say
good
is,
enemy.
as you know, one should always leave with the girl that you brought. And Jasper,
Absolutely.
you got high on a different supply. So
No, I did not leave the party. No, whoa. I am
you-
not leaving the party with her. No way.
you have implied a political marriage with another house at the party.
No. That's not true.
You're not gonna leave with her, but her point of view is we're in alliance now.
Okay. Well, I said okay, so I have 2 people who think they're in alliance with me.
He's playing the game a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like the
We're
game
not
is
done.
sweeping him up.
We're not done
I'm
this
aware.
ball.
I'm
Okay.
aware.
So that's not fair. That's not
Jasper,
fair.
you.
We got
And this
game
is-
time
I
minutes.
just
And for
see
me,
this.
Yeah. I'm just digging a grave. Yeah, I'm digging my own grave. I need to know the benefits. I need to do a cost benefit analysis here. And that
Absolutely.
involves a little bit more details that Jasper would know that I don't.
We'll talk
and-
about it next time then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
As always, keep in contact on Discord, and if you have any questions specifically for me, please share them. I will say that some of the invitations that were sent did not get discussed tonight, so there might be more secret maneuverings going around. I did like pulling the Lady Tamari card because it's very funny for me.
That's really good. That's really good.
Dude, I'm so glad that you pulled that, man. I saw her in the list on the wiki, and I was like, oh,
When did she get there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, we're out.
Awesome.